Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Mr. Knox, I know we don't have any bills on the agenda regarding this, but I know you're heading up the National Park Service team on the implementation of the Manhattan Project. So I just wanted to ask about that. If you could tell me if you've made any decisions about citing the park headquarters and whether Hanford is still under consideration, and also about, just decisions well, answer the first one and I'll get to the second question.
Well, Senator, first of all, I want to thank you for championing the bill that created the Manhattan Project National Historical Park. And I have had the great pleasure of visiting with the National Park Service team, the communities of Oak Ridge, Los Alamos, and Hanford, and saw the huge public support, local support for that park in each of those communities. And each of those resources, each of those areas has a different part of the story to tell, and each is equally important. We have made no decision at this point on location of a headquarters, and we're probably ways away from making those organizational decisions.
Okay.
But I would like to commit to you, Senator, that we would look at the relatively equal staffing levels, equal importance in each of the communities, because they each have a clearly important part of the story.
And what about, there are many sites within the Manhattan Project that help us tell the story, like the high school building and the construction camp and the White Bluffs. And so hopefully you're taking all that into consideration and making decisions about what should be included.
Yes, Senator, the legislation that was passed requires Hanford B reactor to be part of this new National Historical Park. And then there's a number of properties at all three sites that are eligible to be within the boundary, both within the boundary of the park. And we're working with the Department of Energy for all the DOE administered areas to take a hard look at which of those sites should be part of the park, and they would be included in the agreement that we are working with the Department of Energy, and that we hope to have out for public comment in the next month or so.
Well, as you can see from visiting the site, that transportation through the DOE site and these facilities, so we just have to figure this out and get it right so that people can have access, because obviously it's a beautiful area, but there's a story to be told.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.